Hello there. When I started putting music together into a DAW and recording it, I had already been playing guitar for 10 years. And then it was just sitting on my hard drive. And then I didn't actually start putting it out on the internet until 5 years after that. So I had been playing for 15 years before I ever shared it with anybody. So the problem is that if you're not putting yourself out there, you cannot grow you can, but it's hard to know how much you're growing as an artist, musician, whatever. I could say I'm a guitarist, but unless I actually perform it, you wouldn't know. This only was it wasn't working because I wasn't putting it anywhere. I didn't know how to put it on music distribution things. Easiest thing for me was YouTube because I saw other YouTubers doing it, but I just wasn't doing it. But if I was, what ended up happening is that it forced me to get better. So I asked a question out there and somebody said they have a hurdle with procrastination. Now we want to figure out how to get past the procrastination mindset or belief because it just stops people from continuing or even starting. So like I just mentioned, you have to change your mindset. So what is perfectionism? Perfectionism means that you want your thing that you are about to put out to be perfect. Good luck with that. And something that I did to relieve my brain is I want you to go to your favorite musician YouTuber, sort their stuff by oldest, and tell me that you are either at an equal playing ground or better than they were back then. And like I said, I did this with myself. I followed, he used to be Family Jewels 7X and Beyond the Guitar. And I saw their stuff and I was like, wow, that's really good. And then I did the little sort by and I was like, I could do that. There wasn't anything fancy about what they were doing. And you have other YouTubers or whatever out there putting their music out with whatever audio and video quality they have at their disposal. Not to throw any shade on them, and they just keep going without a care in the world, and they might have more followers than you. Now, I don't want you going out there and just trying to find people that are worse than you just to make yourself feel good, but you at least can think, okay, I'm just being afraid. I need to put myself out there, get the ball rolling. And I think they're afraid of their stuff being bad. And there's two things there. So it's only going to be bad relative to how you can get better in the future. Something is better than nothing. But if there's nothing out there, you can't say it's bad until you've gotten better from that point. And I wouldn't even call it bad. I would say your first thing is good because it's 100% better than the nothing that you could be doing. So, every time you produce something, ask yourself how you can make it better. Now, destroying perfectionism requires a mindset shift. And there's a few things I want you to think about here. First, you need to accept that yearning for perfectionism is a form of procrastination because nothing is going to be the best thing ever. All right. You could always improve things. But if that's the case, that means you could also potentially never release anything. You just can't push a deadline. Like, for example, can you push deadlines with school? And taking it up a notch, if you were a musician in school, you would not be able to tell your teacher that you cannot do that recital coming up because you're not ready yet. There's no, unless you want to fail the class and take it over again, you're going to have to face face the music. And huge, as a tangent here, huge game companies will release games, and somebody out there will find a bug in there. And maybe the company will know that there's a bug in there. So, you have the true fans, and they will stick with the company, but they will have a deadline, have a release date deadline. Now, if they delay it, the fans will get upset. If they keep delaying it, the fans will no longer be fans. And if you are not a huge game company, you do not have the luxury of having the diehard fans that will stick with you no matter what. Now, I said bad is subjective, and just accept that it will be quote unquote bad. But let's do an experiment again. If you had a kid that brought home art, would you tell the kid that your art is bad? I would hope not. That'd be traumatizing, but it's not going to be the best thing in the world. But you don't want them to stop, right? Don't do that to yourself. Don't say, "Oh, this is bad." Just make it a thing, improve as you go. And you're only, you can only get better at something if you're bad at it first. I'm assuming you're a musician watching this, or some sort of creative pursuit, and you got to a level where you are now, and you had to overcome hurdles. Now, if you want to put things out there, there will be things involved that go beyond playing the instrument, like lighting, camera angle, recording, songwriting, maybe editing. That's not playing the instrument, but they are skills, which means you can improve upon them, because no one is born, you weren't born knowing how to play your instrument. So you got to a certain point. You can learn a bunch of other stuff. And let's see, point number 3 in this mindset of perfectionism is you are afraid of judgment, which is understandable, because putting yourself on the internet opens you up to criticism. I'm going to calm you down and say the harshest critics are doing the least work. You can say what you will about movies recently, but at least the companies are putting a lot of time, money, creative effort into what they make. And then you or I can just go watch a movie, and that just takes us 2 hours. And we can say we don't like it. Everyone's willing to say what they want, but, let them say what they want, but you're still the person that put the work in, right? You just spend like weeks or a month or so on a video that turned out being 2 minutes, and someone just gets to write a nice little nasty comment and give a thumbs down, and it took them 2 minutes when you just spent 2 months working on it. Ignore those people. And then the people that are also creating are not going to treat you like that. They're going to understand where you're coming from, and they will give advice if you ask for it. But they're not going to just be harsh like that, okay? Also, it's like, what's the percentage of people that create versus watch and then give the feedback? It's probably like 1 to 99%. 1 for whatever, you get the idea. Small percentage of people are actually putting themselves out there. Be that person. And if with the fear thing, I don't know what else to say about this, but just get over it, because no matter how far you make it, there are always going to be people that don't like what you do. All right. Go to any popular video and there's always a few dislikes. Like, how often do you see a video without any dislikes, right? And the thing is, like, those dislikes, they aren't amplified because it hurts. And your brain is like, oh, I'm trying to defend myself when this person just gave me a thumbs down on my own work. Just move on. I get those, and I have the same feelings, and I just think to myself, like, why are you getting upset when you just got like 8 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down? It's fine, okay? Now, how do we get rid of perfectionism? Remember what I said with the school example, where you can't push a due date for forever. Give yourself a due date. Give yourself timelines. And if you miss one, make another due date. Make another deadline. I'm not the best at this myself. I'll put a little note in here, but getting around the deadline, and I've talked about consistently showing up to practice or work on it. If you are doing that enough, like let's say you're working on a hard song, and you're like, all right, that was kind of challenging. Let me take it slow, do all the things I should be doing, focusing, metronome, taking breaks, going slow. At some point, you know that, or what's happened with me is I will get frustrated with the song, keep trying. One day I think, let me just see what a full run feels like, and then you can do it. Now the next step is to record it. But as soon as you know you're at the point where you can play it through, then it is time to have one of those quote unquote practice sessions be, okay, it's recording time. And whatever happened, like the worst case scenario is you do 5 takes, it doesn't work, you just hang it up for the night, and then you either go back to practicing or you try another day. All right, nothing's going to happen. Loose deadlines, I'll save that for later. But with the deadline thing, if you want to take it up a level, tell somebody. Tell a group of people. If you have followers, tell them. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good, because you're raising your own standards, okay? And last thing, to comfort you. I don't know if you have been going and stopped, or I don't know if you haven't started, but you will, or at least you should, get better as you go, because you're afraid that the performance is one thing, but you're like, I don't know what I'm going to look like. My camera angle, it doesn't look as good as the 1 million subscriber videos I see. Just keep making the content, and then when you have the time, or if you have the time, watch a couple videos on how to make the presentation better. I'm talking to myself here too. But if it's your playing, if it's your recording the video, whatever, if you can improve it, do it. Okay, this will move you better. This will move you towards better, but not perfect, because perfection isn't a thing. You can watch any video of anybody and you could always find something to improve, but they put it out there. So get better, but don't let it stop you from getting out there, right? So that's it. My last point is really just remember why you started, okay? You were probably younger than you are now. I would hope so, in the past. And let's go with music. You had this idea of doing this creative thing. With that lifestyle, you had a goal. The goal is great to release the song, but if your vision is not strong enough, right? You're like, I always think, is this not something you would be doing the rest of your life? And if that's the case, the bumps in the road shouldn't bother you, okay? If you're gonna put yourself out there, it's gonna take some work, okay? This is not sitting and playing a video game. And if you took every game you played, turn the cheat codes on, and you could finish it in 15 minutes, you beat it. Was it satisfying? I don't think so. So things only feel good when there's a struggle. And you have this idea in your mind that you want your end product to be great. Or perfect, I should say. It's not going to be. But without the struggle of going through whatever bumps you can think of, it just wouldn't feel as good, right? That's why we're here. You want some outcome, but don't let the outcome consume you, right? Remember why you started here. And in the content game, you just got to be consistent, right? That's why people have huge channels. They've Only because they've been posting for 15 years straight. I do that too. I look at it, I'm like, what? Like, why is this? Why? What's the secret here? You go to oldest and it's like 7 years. I'm like, okay, I've been at it for a while. So, yeah, if you want it bad enough, embrace the struggle and go put some music out there. At the end, I'm actually taking my own advice here because I kind of didn't want to do this video at this time. I got allergies happening. A little tired, but I tried to talk a little bit faster this time. And I made I don't know if I talked faster or I made my outline shorter. But thanks for watching. Perfectionism, don't worry about it. You can only improve what is out there. So if you don't put it out there, it's not going to be a thing. That's it. Subscribe and all that. Bye.